the show for me and you. Mondays to Fridays, ooh, the Traffic Avenue. Traffic Avenue, the show for me and you. Mondays to Fridays, ooh, the Traffic Avenue.
Flex. Buckle up and join the best. Let's see, relieve your stress. So yes, let the music soothe your soul and keep it going just to refresh. Buckle and enjoy the ride from 2 to the half of the 5. Mondays to Fridays happening live. Where we gon' have a ball, you can text your guys. Let me tell you what you really gotta do. You can count on us, we come through. We got everything you need, that's true. Are you ready for the Traffic Avenue? Let me tell you what you really gotta do. You can count on us, we come through. We got everything you need, that's true. An applause for the Traffic Avenue.
Traffic Avenue, the show for me and you. Mondays to Fridays, ooh, the Traffic Avenue. Traffic Avenue, the show for me and you. Mondays to Fridays, ooh, Traffic Avenue, oh yeah.
Detailed news, unparalleled coverage. City News on 97.3 FM.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
City News.
It's 17:30 GMT. This is Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM. I am Umaru Sanda Amadu. Tonight, I'm here with
Akusia Oche.
And coming up over the next 90 minutes, NPP flag bearer Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia makes progress with his presidential agenda as he outdoors campaign team today. We'll tell you who made the list. Also coming up,
the whole issues, surrounding this whole video is just an orchestrated attempt by the ruling government just to cover up their shame. It's not going anywhere. So yes, we've seen the video and we are working to make sure we go together with the officer and then be able to make a case as we want to make it.
Police declare Mensah South NDC organizer wanted following comments he made on video which have been deemed offensive to the law. And later on Eyewitness News,
the Japan scam clearly amounts to woefully causing financial loss to the state, and the culprits of sin must not go unpunished.
Opposition NDC punches the Akufo-Addo government on its handling of corruption issues. Stay with 97.3 Citi FM for more on this and many other stories on Eyewitness News. And in business,
new Finance Minister Mohammed Amin Adam charges Ghana Revenue Authority to meet revenue targets for 2024.
That's in 50 minutes from the City Business Desk. Eyewitness News is live across Ghana on a host of affiliate stations, including in the Western region on Adwinpa 100.7 FM in Takwa, Beach 105.5 FM in Takrady, and Sky Power 93.5 FM also in Takrady. If you go to the Bono region, we are on Greener 95.9 FM in Sunyani, In Ashanti region, we are on Focus 94.3 FM in Kumasi and Orange 107.9 FM also in Kumasi. In the Volta region, we are on Revival 99.3 FM in Tajevu and VOV Radio 95.7 FM in Hohwe. In the Northern region, we are on Radio Bimbila 91.9 FM in Bimbila. In the Upper East region, we are on Quality 88.7 FM in Garu. And in the Upper West region, we are on Tungsung 97.3 FM in Wa and Jirapa 96.1 FM in Jirapa. We are also live on YouTube. We are live on X. We are live on Facebook. We are on citynewsroom.com. And we are interactive. Share your views with us using the WhatsApp number 0549 986 996. 0549 986 996. You can also go on Twitter, now known as X, and drop your message there using the hashtag City Newsroom. My handle is at Umaru Sanda. You can also send your message to at City973. Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia has been elected the flag bearer of the New Patriotic Party, the party in power. He gave an address last week where he outlined his vision for the country and asked to be given the opportunity to be the president of the land. He has started campaigning towards being president, and today he's outdooring campaign team members that would lead him or guide him into the elections of 2024. The event is happening at the Alisa Hotel, where the National Executive Committee of the New Patriotic Party currently has a meeting ongoing where the presentation will be made to them for approval or rejection. Hansen Ajiman is our correspondent who has been following this, and he's joined us on the line. Hansen, you're welcome to Eyewitness News.
Thank you, Sandra.
About what time did this meeting happen? Who are the kind of persons that you've been seeing entering the meeting grounds?
Well, the meeting was initially scheduled to begin at 1 p.m., later postponed to 2 p.m. So some of the members of the National Executive Committee started arriving around 1:45 p.m. today. So the General Secretary of the party, Justin Frimpong Kodia, is here. He's here with a couple of national executives. Of course, the regional chairman across the various regions are here. And also we have the president, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. He's here because after the meeting with the National Executive Committee, we are told there's supposed to be a meeting with National Council, which is a member. The vice president himself is here. Papa Owusu Ankoma is also here. Hackman Owusu Hackman is here. He is the chairman of the National Council of Elders of the NPP, amongst a number of NPP stalwarts who have gathered here at the Alisa Hotel for this particular meeting, as well as some persons that we've had opportunity to get hints of being named as part of the campaign team.
I see. So the meeting should be happening behind closed doors, but I'm sure you have your ways and you've picked up some details of what's emerging. Who are some of the persons that we are told are going to be presented to the committee for approval?
So what has been confirmed to us is that Dan Buchi, the former Minister of Local Government and Rural Development, will be the campaign chairman for the NPP for 2024 election. We are also being told that Nana Kumia will be a deputy to him, and also Obi Amwa will be a deputy who will be in charge of parliamentary operations. Then there's the General Secretary of the party, Justin Frimpong Kodia, who we are told will be in charge of operations. And then there are the communications team of the campaign will be spearheaded by Dennis Miracles Abuaje, together with the former communications director of the NPP, Yao Adomaku Befi. And then there are other members of the campaign, including Sami Ewoku, Anthony Cabo. And so these are generally the names that have been confirmed to us by sources within the party. We are told that by the end of the meeting, the list may include other people or even exclude some of the people that have been confirmed, because these names will be put before the National Executive Committee of the party for deliberations, and the final list will include the contributions of the National Executive Committee and most likely the National Council of the party.
Now, these persons who are likely to be named today, you've seen some of them or all of them?
Well, we've seen some of them. Somebody like Yao Adumaku Betty, after he resigned from the party as acting director of communications, he's not been very instrumental in the affairs of the party, but recently have been engaged in the campaigns of the vice president. But he was here very early. We've also seen the likes of Kwabena Japan, who we've been told may also be named as a deputy manager. We are told that Opare Ansa is supposed to be part of the team. Previously, we heard he was supposed to be here, but I have not seen him in person. And for most of the other people who will be named, I've not seen them here myself, including Dan Butchie. I've not seen Dan Butchie here, but there are a pocket of them who have come to the Alisa Hotel, obviously waiting for the National Executive Committee to affirm their nomination to be on the party's campaign team.
Now, Hansen, we're also hearing that on the agenda, there would also be a change at the majority bench, the front bench of the majority side in Parliament. Do you know more about that?
Yes, we got wind of that there will be discussions on possible reshuffle of the leadership of the majority in Parliament. We know that the first deputy whip of the NPP in Parliament, Habib Idrisu, who is set to now become the chief whip, is here against the member of Parliament for Sefi, who is part of the leadership of who is supposed to be a replacement for Lydia Seriamal Hassan, is also here. We've seen him here as well. And we are told that is part of the conversation. But we've not seen Osei Mensah, who we are told that when this reshuffle happens and Alexander Fenyomake takes up the role as the majority leader, and Dompre takes up role as deputy majority leader, Habib Idrisu as chief whip, he would then head the manifesto committee of the NPP. But we have not seen him here yet. But what we gather from participants in this meeting is that it's indeed part of the agenda. Again, aside the substantive issue of what is happening in Parliament, we are told that some other issues that are before the National Executive Committee with respect to the just ended parliamentary primaries will also be discussed, particularly the issue in Yendi. We know that as of now, the elections have not been declared and the party has not given a way forward on what exactly should happen.
Very well. Thank you so much. Hansen Ajiman is a correspondent here in the City Newsroom who went to cover the ongoing National Executive Committee meeting of the New Patriotic Party, where Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, the flag bearer of the party, is going to present to the NEC for approval the members that are going to constitute his campaign team ahead of election 2024. We're also hearing that there's going to be a shake-up at the front bench of the majority side. Alexander Fenyomake, MP for Ifutu, is going to be the new leader of the majority side, we understand. And we have heard that he will be deputized by the Nsawam Medojiri Member of Parliament, Frank Dompre, and the whip would be Habib, who is Member of Parliament for Tolong, Habib Idris. So this is Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM. When the full confirmation comes up, we'll be sharing that with you. In the meanwhile,
we'll still stay with the New Patriotic Party because it has responded to allegations put forth by the parliamentary candidates for the National Democratic Congress in Ifutu, Dr. James Kofi Annan, regarding electoral misconduct. Among the allegations are the purported illegal registrations of over 20,000 individuals from other constituencies into the voter register, alongside accusations of inducement through monetary means for votes. Dr. Annan, during a media briefing in Winneba further asserted that the NPP had engaged in local monetization to influence voters, notably referencing the recent district assembly elections as evidence of a concerted effort to secure victory in the upcoming 2024 elections. In a rebuttal to these allegations, Maxwell Otri, the deputy constituency secretary for the NPP in Ifutu, said the comments were untrue.
I mean, politics of insult and trying to bring falsehood and things rather destroy the community or the society. Now, what he is saying, if you are instigating people to come out to do the wrong thing, I mean, at the end of the day, what do you intend to achieve? You are the flag bearer for NDC, and you are saying that the EC is in bed with the MPP parliamentary candidates here to register over 20,000 people. Now, when you saw that, what did you do? As an educated man, as you, Kofi Annan, when you saw it, what did you do? You see, I'm even disappointed. Truly, I'm so much disappointed for a whole parliamentary candidate of NDC seeing something wrong, and you sitting down and going on air to say that I saw that and he has done that and he has done that. I mean, who are you trying to deceive?
You hear the Maxwell Otri, he's the Deputy Constituency Secretary for the NPP in Ifutu. Now, still on the NPP, the regional branch has urged the Northern Regional Serial Callers Association of the party to resume operations, or the Northern Regional Serial Callers Association of the governing NPP embarked on a strike due to what it describes as poor welfare and remuneration. Other groups said services of members have been taken for granted by the party despite numerous complaints. In an interview with Citi News, the Northern Regional Communications Director, Saibu Yusuf Danjuma, said the issue is being dealt with.
Yesterday in the morning, management of the regional communications team also engaged the leadership and they agreed to go and call off the strike, which I think some of them still disagree. But we assured them that all the grievances raised would be duly addressed. For instance, they made reference to jobs. We said they should have been fair enough to tell the whole Ghana that members of the serial caller group, majority of them have gotten employment under the Nana Akufo-Addo's government. And all the assistance and support that they sought, General Secretary made a pledge that he will work with the regional party, Northern Region here, to address those grievances. So we are very much in charge, and we assure them that this is an election year. All of them should go back to work for the party. The grievances will be duly addressed.
Saibu Yusuf Danjuma is the Northern Regional Communications Director for the New Patriotic Party. Now, several civil society organizations, CSOs, are raising alarm over the possible infiltration of money launderers, drug traffickers, and other criminals into the political space ahead of the upcoming general election. Or according to them, the lack of scrutiny into the sources of campaign funding creates a safe space for illicit actors to exert influence over political actors. Or the Ghana Integrity Initiative in particular emphasizes the importance of implementing regulations to govern political campaign finance. They argue that such regulations are essential for combating corruption.
Political campaigns in Ghana is rising. Between 2016 and 2020, it jumped from about a little over $300,000 to $693,000 to elect an MP in Ghana. That is a lot, considering the fact that if you take the MP salary of an average of about 20,000 Ghana cedi a month, it will take about 3 years, 4 months to be able to pay off that debt. By the 3.5 month time, the MP will be heading towards another election and will be contesting primaries around that time. So how are they able to fund the election? There is a CDD study that shows that there are incidences where persons engaged in serious and organized crime gets involved in political party financing. Now, if what that does to our election is that it robs the country of the integrity of the election, how free and fair the outcomes of the election is. And that is why most of the time the outcomes of elections are fiercely contested by the two leading political parties. And therefore, we need to start having the conversation to raise the questions as to who are the people who are financing elections, electoral campaigns in this country. The Electoral Commission must also take its mandate of receiving audited accounts from the political parties a bit more serious than it is doing now. And let us go beyond just the presentation of the account, but scrutinize where the funds that the political parties use are generated from. Fortunately, we have beneficial ownership disclosure clauses in our new companies code. Let us begin to interrogate who are the people who are getting new contracts in any new regime.
That was voice of fundraising manager of the Ghana Integrity Initiative, Michael Bwedi.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
You know, Papa, see that? And it's rickety car. Hey, Papa! Bobo, so how your engine now? It is half man, half amazing. Thanks to Quartz and you can feel better energy. Can't touch this. Actually, guys, so Sancho's engine just died like that. Yes, so somebody managed to convince him that there is a better engine oil than Quartz, and he switched. Sancho Panza. Now, which engine oil can be better than Quartz? No other, my guy. Quartz with its age-resistant technology, it keeps your engine younger for longer. Now you know. Have you guys seen the new bottle design? It's superb. Quartz 9000 from Total Energies there improves fuel efficiency. Why do you think Mr. Mane and Logoso have taken the Quartz Nation movement World Cup like that? Mr. Mane. Sorry. Chairman Mane. Chairman. Hey, Chairman! Quartz. Keep your engine younger for longer.
Recoded to do more with ease. The enhanced GCB mobile app. Download now from Google Play Store or Apple Store for all your transactions. Smooth, safe, and secure. Chale, tap the app. You don't need to have an account to upgrade. GCB mobile app. Recoded to do more. Upgrade your style. GCB Bank. Your bank for life.
Let your voice be heard on Eyewitness News on Facebook at facebook.com/Citi97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/Citi973, and Instagram at instagram.com/Citi973 with the hashtag Eyewitness News.
You're welcome back. This is Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM broadcasting from Adabraka in Accra. Now, the NDC organizer in the Menchia South constituency of the Ashanti region is some kind of trouble. The police administration has declared him wanted. Dr. Frank Amwakuhene is Ashanti Regional Secretary of the NDC. He's joining us on the line. Doc, you're welcome to Eyewitness News. Apologies, that's not Dr. Amwakuhene. We tried to re-establish connection with him. In the meanwhile, let me read some of the messages that you've been sending through. Alex Kofi Areni from Adenta Commando says, why is Dr. Baumia wasting time to outdoor a campaign team to waste his money instead of parking to live in peace? Honorable Ayuba from Yagbon in the North Gonja district says, if I were any of the members of Dr. Baumia's campaign team, I would have declined the appointment because whatever be the case, this is not seeing top and I don't want to be part of a losing team. Courage sends a message from Koforidua and he says, the campaign team of a political party doesn't concern the general population. There are serious issues on ground which would determine the outcome of elections. Baba Chairman in Tamale says, I have no doubt that all those in the campaign list are men of outstanding track record and will deliver to the max. Send your message to 0549-986-996, like Akapo Jr. has done from Ahafomim, and he says, did Dr. Baumia factor the conditions of Honorable Kennedy Pong before forming his campaign team members? I'm not sure the likes of Miracles Abuaji and Adumaku Befi would draw Ken to support their bid to break the 8. Amisco Spelele in Kaswa Republic says, undoubtedly, Dr. Baumia's campaign team is fantastically sensational. In fact, breaking the 8 is possible. Dr. Baumia is our next chapter. That is the hashtag that you have added. Let's go back to the NDC's base in the Ashanti region. Dr. Frank Amwakuhene, Ashanti Regional Secretary of the party. Doc, you're welcome to Eyewitness News.
Thank you very much.
What did the organizer in Menchia do to incur the wrath of the police, for which reason he is a wanted man tonight?
Thank you very much. I mean,
it is an exaggeration, and it can be likened to killing a fly with a sledgehammer. And this there's a purported action to divert the attention of Ghanaians from the hardship that is going on in the system. Because one, it takes two to tango, and it takes two to have a conversation. It was a conversation between an NDC person and an MPP person. They managed to get a video out there which has the MPP person's comments edited out of the video. And then now we declare an officer wanted without having to resort to the institution to produce the officer. So if you know you can find the person, then you should publish the person's name without associating him to the NDC. But if you want to associate him with the NDC, then you better come to the regional leadership that we have noticed or we have come across a video from an officer of the party, and the police would want to have a conversation with him. Then the regional leadership can produce the officer to you. But you have attached the NDC to the officer. You didn't come to the regional leadership and yet declared him wanted on social media. From my understanding, you only declare someone wanted if the person cannot be found or the person has gone into hiding. This is an officer that you, the police, you know, and he is a tailor to most of the policemen. And it's not as though he is even a stranger or someone they don't know. So I think that the declaration of the gentleman as a wanted person was misplaced, and that he is not someone who is in hiding. And today, after our encounter with the police, we made them aware that he is available, and we make him available to the police tomorrow.
Now, you said that the comments have been doctored so that one person's speech is removed and then one other person's speech is left in there. What were the two of them talking about, by the way?
Yeah, so they were talking about 2024 elections. And the MPP person was threatening that under no circumstance would they allow John Mahama to win the election. And that if John Mahama wins the election, they will still not hand over power to him. And that they will do all they can possible to rig the election. Anyone who threatens our democracy definitely threatens our peace. And definitely is someone who does not want the peace of Ghana. So it was as a result of that conversation that the officer was equally serving notice to them that anyone who threatens our democracy definitely is preaching for war and is preaching for chaos. Okay? So we are equally interested in the police investigating the plans of the MPP to rig the elections as altered by the NPP official. We are equally interested in the plans of the MPP and as to why they keep repeating that they are not going to hand over power to John Mahama even if he wins the 2024 elections. Because all this will happen if they rig the election. And all this will happen if we don't intervene now and make sure our democracy is protected come 2024, December 7th. So that is the whole genesis of the conversation. That the part of the MPP official threatening our democracy has been edited out of the video. And it is only the response of the NDC official that has been put on the social media.
Was this a media debate the two of them were engaged in? And who is this person that your officer was engaging?
No, it wasn't a media debate. It was a debate within the community. Okay, so they were gathered under a tree. And it was a debate between him and an MPP officer. We would address the press tomorrow after we are done with the police. We bring out all the facts and the person they were having the exchange with. So it was not even a media conversation.
But do you have the original video?
Yes, so we have the details of everything that happened. And if you even watch the video, you realize that there were people who were equally part of the conversation. So we are equally interested. If the police wants to investigate, we need to invite every single person who was part of the conversation so we can probe to the end of it. That what are the plans of the MPP that they are so certain that even if John Mahama wins, they are not going to hand over to him. But it's a point of interest for us as well. So tomorrow when we get to the police headquarters, depending on the conversation, all these issues will come up.
No problem. So tomorrow you'll be escorting him to the police station. There's a possibility he may be arrested. You're ready for all of that, the legal issues involved?
Absolutely so. Absolutely so. We are going with our lawyers and we are ready for whichever legal tussle. If we need to make a counter complaint for them to arrest the MPP official, we will do same. If we need to go and embark on a civil arrest and bring the official to the police, we will do that. We are ready for them tomorrow.
Now, notwithstanding the fact that another person's voice had been doctored out, was it not a reckless comment that your officer was making, talking about killing? Is that a responsible commentary that should be made by an elected officer of a party that has been in government before? And are you supporting those comments that he made?
So you see, everyone is innocent until proven otherwise by a court of competent jurisdiction. Let alone.
But you can be innocent. How can you be innocent if the audio is out there and you are engaging in recklessness?
No. Even if the audio is out there and there's a full audio without even an edit, the person is still innocent. That is the position of our law. The person is still innocent until a court of competent jurisdiction, and that is what our laws and that is what our constitution says, proves otherwise. Okay. So we cannot be prejudicial in this matter. And especially when I am telling you that from our investigation and our checks and our interaction with the officer, he was only serving notice to the MPP official that anyone who rigs the 2024 election is only preparing a platform for blah, 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 blah. So it was a response to the utterances of the MPP official. So we can't be prejudicial and we can't be condemning someone without giving the person a fair hearing and without a court of competent jurisdiction saying otherwise.
Does your party in the region endorse violence, including killing?
We are not talking about violence. We are talking about being prejudicial and judging someone wrongly without a court giving him a fair hearing. We as a party are ready to support anyone who is ready to help us protect the ballots in 2024. That is what we support.
If it means killing, to do so.
If it means killing, we have not talked about killing here. We are talking about protecting the ballots and protecting the verdict of the people and protecting the verdict come 2024.
And
no one has mentioned killing in this conversation.
But your officer whose head on the tape has mentioned killing. So I'm asking if the protection of the ballots extends to death. Is that what you are sanctioning your officers to do?
And I'm saying that put the comments of the officer in context. And I'm giving you the context and the background behind all this.
Yes, and at the end of the day, the context...
Just like the all die be die. The president said die, meaning death, killing, murder. The president of the Republic now said all die be die. Kill, murder, they are all dead. But he put it in a context and justified it. And the media, you help him to justify it. And we are saying that the notice as served by our officer was in reaction to the fact that he who rigs 2024 elections sets a platform for chaos. And that we need to, as a people, unite and ensure that no one rigs the 2024 election. I think that should be our interest and our focus as a people.
Doc, how is the NDC doing in Ashanti region?
Fantastically well. And that is why there is a panic in the MPP. Because for the very first time, we realized our 24-hour economy work, the people coming out and the disappointment on the supporters of the MPP, Alan Shamantin coming in and all that. So they are panicking in Ashanti region, for which reason they want to hang on to any strain whatsoever that they will find to make a case out of it.
The last time, the last election, I think 2016, your target as a party then was to get 1 million votes from Ashanti. Have you revised that figure?
As a party, we have a baseline that we need to cross to ensure our victory come 2024. And the elections in Ghana is 50 plus 1 vote. So our target is not really in the nominal vote, it's really in the percentage. So our work as a party and as leadership is towards a percentage. Said that even if 10 people vote, we should be able to get the percentage that will secure the victory of John Mahama. So, moving into this election, we are not really dealing with the nominal vote. We are looking at the percentage that will give us the 50 plus 1%.
It's the nominal figures that would give you the percentage. So what percentage of the votes in Ashanti are you expecting or hoping to bag for the NDC?
That is correct. But the nominal figures will give you the percentage. But it depends on the turnout. It depends on the people on the registered voter.
Doc, you were bold 7 or 8 years ago, you said you needed 1 million votes. You appear to not be sure now. You are scared, are you not? You can't make a bold statement.
We definitely are not. It is only a fool who does not revise his notes and renew his mind. We are ready to keep our target to ourselves and work at it and discuss the outcome rather than putting it out like we did in 2016, which gave us problems. The 2016 strategy did not give us the results we wanted. So definitely you don't expect me as a new CEO of the party at the region to be following the footsteps of what happened in 2016. Definitely we are moving into a new election. This election demands different strategy. And that strategy requires that we keep the percentage to ourselves and work at it and discuss the outcome of it rather than discuss the target.
In the hunt for a running mate for Dr. Bawumia, lots of MPP people are suggesting the running mate should come from Ashanti region so that the party would get votes from there. That appears to be the place you get the least votes. In your hunt for a running mate as NDC, are you considering a candidate from Ashanti region?
Okay, so Ashanti plays a dual role in our politics. It is the stronghold for the MPP, but the second stronghold region for NDC in terms of the presidential vote. So it is a very crucial region for us as well. Okay, but what we are looking at is that we are not too fixated on who becomes the running mate in terms of the region or in terms of the gender or in terms of what have you. We are looking at someone who will be able to first complement His Excellency John Mahama, and the second, to be able to have that record, that track record to speak to issues boldly and be able to attract the middle class, the youth among the taming Ghanaians to help us get the votes we need to win this election. So we are not really fixated. His Excellency John Dramani Mahama has been given the opportunity to do the selection. And I'm sure he's doing a lot of consultations. And we are ready that whoever he brings on board as his running mate, we would help him and help the person in order that we'll be able to secure the victory that we are looking for.
But you are not fixated. MPP seems to be fixated. If they go with a running mate from Ashanti, it's a done deal for them, they say, and you would lose the votes that you got the last time in Ashanti and possibly even lose your parliamentary seats that you have, the 4 of them.
That is not the case. I mean, the politics in Ghana is bread and butter. And people will look at, Kufuor said it, look at your pocket or look within your purse and vote. Right now, we're looking at the hunger we are going through to vote. So irrespective of whoever the MPP brings, people will still look at their economic situation and vote. This election will definitely be about the economy and jobs. So until the MPP is able to drastically do any magic in these 2 areas, nothing is saving them, not the issue of where their running mate is coming from. I mean, the running mate is just in to complement the candidate. So if the candidate is weak, I mean, the mate will never be able to do anything. So we are not really thinking, and I mean, in all our permutation and our strategic table, considering that an Ashanti running mate for Bawumia is going to weaken us further in Ashanti region. Of course not. Okay, so for us, we are not worried. And if you look at their permutation, I mean, Bawumia from the north, they have no option than to pick a running mate from Ashanti. And it is clear. And we have been prepared, I mean, from the word go, that no matter what, Bawumia will pick from Ashanti. So do your work well such that irrespective of whoever they pick, we will still be able to win and win convincingly. So that is what we are prepared for as a party in the region.
I just heard you say there that the running mates wouldn't be that significant. You didn't use that word, but you also said that as a mate, there really isn't much that he can do. What that means is that you have endorsed Dr. Bawumia's comments last week or so that he was just a mate and not the driver, so you can't blame him for anything that happened to the government, doesn't it?
There's a difference between politicking and governing. Okay?
You just said the running mate is inconsequential, didn't you? It won't make much of a difference.
We are looking at winning the election. Winning the election is different from governance. Okay? When you win the election, you can win the election but not prepared for governance. Okay? So winning the election, the people you bring on board, even the campaign manager and everyone you bring on board, is to help you win the elections. Okay? Someone will choose someone who will help him win the election. But at the end of the day, when it comes to governance, the person will be close to zero. So the conversation we are having here should be in context of who is going to help them win the elections. When it comes to governance, it's a whole different ball game altogether. Because in governance, even the finance minister matters. That is why when there is a need to call for the government to reshuffle, we don't call the government to resign. We call the with the government to reshuffle a finance minister or an education minister. So the context of the role of a running mate and the role of a vice president is different. We are talking about politicking and elections. Okay, what Baumia said is in the context of governance, which is absolutely different from the conversation that we're having.
Very well. Thank you so much for speaking to us, Doc.
Thank you too, my brother.
That's Dr. Frank Amwakwehini. He's Ashanti Regional Secretary of the NDC. This is Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM. Akosia.
Labour expert Austin Game has urged the government to begin an immediate implementation of the 24-hour economy. His comments come ahead of the commemoration of the World Day of Social Justice on February 20, which focuses on pressing for improvements in employment, ensuring social inclusion and tackling poverty. In a City News interview, Austin Game said the policy will help tackle unemployment in the country.
Need urgently a 24-hour economy and a guarantee from both the present government and, let's say, example, whether it is Alan Tremantin or it is John Mahama, if they will implement the 24-hour economy within 6 months upon coming into office. Because in the absence of a 24-hour economy, this country will not grow. We need it urgently. We have delayed too much. We are late in the day. And that will bring about some equity by way of employment opportunities for both men and women. So we need a 24-hour economy. To me, that's the solution. If people have access to money, if people are sure of employment, there will be equity. There will be social justice in the country. But in the absence of assurance that you have a job, a legitimate job that you can even switch from this company to this company because you are running a 24-hour economy. You can choose to work in a particular company in the morning and work in another company in the evening.
That was Austin Game. He is a Labour expert. Now, the Ministry of Roads and Highways says it aims to patch as many potholes across the country as possible before the next rainy season. Commuters in Ghana often complain of the stress they endure due to the negative impact of potholes, while vehicle owners say the situation damages their vehicles. The government, in response, has released 150 million cedis to engage and pay contractors for undertaking pothole patching across the country. Public Relations Officer of the Ministry of Roads and Highways, Nasir Ahmed Yati, says that more resources will be released in the next quarter.
We plan routine maintenance during the dry season. And so now that we have the dry season, the whole idea is to move in and cover across the country as much as we can stretches that have gone bad due to the rain, patch all before the next rainy season kicks in. Part of our first quarter relief that we've devoted to pothole this exercise. So, and when we receive the second quarter relief, we'll assess this first phase of the exercise and see what is left if we need to put in more money. I'm sure the management of the ministry will take that decision and will communicate it. The most important thing is that we've identified that some parts of our trunk roads have developed potholes. Citizens have spoken about it, and the ministry is putting in some intervention to address this challenge.
Well, when asked for a list of priority roads for the patching of potholes, the PRO had this to say.
Perhaps what we will do is to keep a data, because this is a ministry that we keep accurate records. So we'll keep a data. This exercise is being undertaken by the Ghana Highways Authority and the urban roads, because we are looking at our trunk roads and our inner city roads, so urban roads and highways authority. Regional maintenance directors from these two agencies are under instructions to identify, first and foremost, areas within the region and then focus on those areas. So as we identify, we move in and we work on it. And so as I speak to you now, I cannot say these are the areas that we are going to work on.
Nasir Ahmed Yati, PRO for the Ministry of Roads and Highways.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
When you want to eat, just Momo it. Tired of the long queues in the supermarket? Pay with Momo. When you really want that beautiful new blouse, just Momo it. When you want to get a trim and get fresh to impress you know who, just Momo it. When you need to pay your utility bills and domestic staff, Shani Momo. When you want to send love to the family back home, send some Momo. Join the millions of MTN Momo users all over Ghana and live life the brighter way. So just Momo it. MTN.
You know, Papa, see that? And it's rickety car. Hey, Papa! Bobo, so how's your engine now? It is half man, half amazing. Thanks to Quartz and you can feel better energy. Can't touch this. Tell you guys, so Sancho's engine just died like that? Yes, so somebody managed to convince him that there is a better engine oil than Quartz. And he switched. Sancho Panza. Now, which engine oil can be better than Quartz? No other, my guy. Quartz with its age-resistant technology, it keeps your engine younger for longer. Now you know. Have you guys seen the new bottle design? It's superb. Quartz 9000 from Total Energies there improves fuel efficiency. Why do you think Mr. Mane and Logoso have taken the Quartz Nation movement World Cup like that? Sorry. Chairman. Hey, Quartz. Keep your engine younger for longer.
Let your voice be heard on Eyewitness News on Facebook at facebook.com/Citi97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/Citi973, and Instagram at instagram.com/Citi973 with the hashtag Eyewitness News.
You're welcome back. This is Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM. We are coming to you from our studios in Adabraka in Accra. Now, let's talk about the flood situation that affected and inundated lots of communities along the Volta River. The Ghana Meteorological Agency has spoken, and it said that it is not to be blamed for the Akosombo Dam spillage. Over 30,000 people, as you do know, were displaced after the spillage of the Akosombo and Pong dams in September last year. Some people have questioned the data sharing system between the agency and the VRA. The Director General of the agency, Eric Asuman, today called a press, and at the press conference said that they give the necessary data about the rainfall pattern to the VRA. Let's move to natural resources now. A Japan royalties deal. You remember that botched deal that led to the former special prosecutor resigning from the government. Last week, it emerged that as much as $12 million had been spent by the government on the Ejapa deal, which has been suspended. It is a cause of worry for many, and the NDC today called a press conference to speak on that. Sami Jemfi is National Communications Officer of the NDC, and he's joined us on the line because he called that press conference. Sami, you're welcome to Eyewitness News. Tell us more on what your party's position on the issue was that you decided at a Moment of Truth press conference to talk about.
My brother, we are totally appalled by the fact that the Akufo-Addo Bawumia MPP government decided to spend a colossal $12 million, equivalent to 153 million Ghana cedis, on the botched, aborted Ejapa deal. First of all, this was a deal which was cooked by certain elements in the Akufo-Addo Bawumia government to appropriate our mineral royalties for themselves in perpetuity. We said so. ISODEC, TIAC, IDEC, ASEP, ASEPA, all the civil society organizations, especially those in the extractive sector, including Imani, supported this position that the Ejapa deal was not in the interest of the people of this country. Very characteristic of this government, they bulldoze their way through and pass the deal with their numbers in parliament. But subsequent to that, as a result of our sustained advocacy against the deal, the Office of Special Prosecutor took the matter up, conducted a corruption risk assessment, and came up with a very damning verdict. We were told by the special prosecutor, supported by indisputable facts, that the whole Ejapa transaction was fraught with procurement rigging and several illegalities. It breached the Public Procurement Act, according to the special prosecutor. It breached the Public Financial Management Act and even the Supreme Law of the Land, the 1992 Constitution. And so, on the basis of these serious legal issues, the president directed that the deal should be suspended. Like that can't say, once the deal could not go through, once the deal could not materialize, what it meant was that no payments were supposed to be made under the deal. Again, if any payments had been made under the deal, because the deal was unlawful, same was null and void and of no effect. And therefore, any such illegal payments were supposed to be refunded to the state. Here we are, many years after, we are being told by the CEO of the institution that supervised this scam that 153 million cedis under, we are talking about some 1.5 trillion old Ghana cedis, which this government claims to have spent on the processes leading to the listing of Ejapa on the London Stock Exchange. This is money which has been spent with no value whatsoever to the state, no benefit whatsoever to the state. In other words, Ghanaians have benefited nothing from this whole Ejapa, transaction, which is now dead under the water. We have benefited nothing, absolutely nothing. Yet we are being told that 153 million cedis of our precious resources in this time of extreme economic hardship, high unemployment, high interest rates, high inflation rates, economic bankruptcy, debt default, and all that. 153 million cedis has just been distributed to so-called consultants for services they never provided. Because according to the CEO, they spend a chunk of the money on consultancy services. Some tell me, if you pay a consultant for a service, and that service is no longer rendered, are you not supposed to go for your money? Is that what reasonable people would do based on common sense? We paid, according to the special prosecutor, huge sums of money under this unlawful Ejapa scam to African Legal Associates owned by a cousin of President Akufo-Addo, Gabi Otredako. We paid money to Data Bank, which is also owned by another cousin of President Akufo-Addo, the immediate past finance minister, who today has been promoted to the position of a presidential advisor on the economy and special envoy to the capital markets and so on.
We haven't seen that formal communication, but are you suggesting that
if Asase Radio tells you something like that, you should know that you can count on that and you can go to the bank with that. But the point is, illegal payments have been made to these entities closely associated with the president and the ruling New Patriotic Party.
Okay, Sammy, but the question is, if you are trying to start a project and you bring in consultants and they do their work and you pay them, and then later the president says, do not continue with the project, you can't go to those consultants and collect the money.
The consultants did what work and they were paid for what work.
Do consultancy work on whether or not
the company was not even listed on the London Stock Exchange. The listing did not happen. So what did they do? They were paid $12 million for the mere discussions they had about the deal, because the deal was not, nothing was concretized. Nothing was, I don't even know how to say it. Nothing was finalized. Nothing was executed. Nothing was executed. So what did they pay these so-called consultants for? If you say that you spend money on renting offices that were never occupied, never operated, so you didn't go back for the money, what kind of cock and bull story is this? So, if Ghana was a property of President Akufo-Addo and Alhaji Bawumia, would they spend $12 million equivalent to 153 million cedis on this flimsy, reasons that they are giving us? Would they do that? We are talking about a country that cannot even procure textbooks. for basic school children almost 5 years after a new curriculum was introduced. A country which recently had to shut down the renal unit at the Kolebu City Hospital over government's indebtedness to the tune of 4 million cedis. Just 4 million cedis. 19 kidney patients had to die because government owed the Kolebu renal unit 4 million cedis which they couldn't pay. Yet we had 153 million cedis to waste. The same country, Ghana, where we could not even purchase childhood vaccines to protect our own children. Children had to die in this country. We had to take our neighbors, Nigeria, to loan us vaccines. We have 153 million to throw away on a deal that never materialized, on a deal that never benefited the people of this country.
Very well.
And on a deal that the Office of Special Prosecutor says was fraught with corruption, potential money laundering, procurement rigging, and several illegalities. I mean, how can we run a country like this?
Let's leave it here.
That's why we are saying that this whole transaction amounts to willfully causing financial loss to the state.
Would you file a formal complaint to anybody who can investigate
we won't waste
willful?
our time because there is no way we will get justice under this government. Our surest bet at getting justice and accountability in this matter and in all the other corruption scandals which have plagued this nation in the last 7 to 8 years under this corrupt MPP government is for us to vote for change.
Okay.
It is for us to put these people out of government.
Very well. Thank you so much.
It is for us to vote overwhelmingly, Sanda, for His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, who has promised to investigate this matter and all the other corruption scandals, ensure that the monies are refunded to the state for useful ventures that will benefit the people of this country and not the selected.
Thank you so much.
That is the only hope we have.
Thank you
Thanks
for speaking to us. That's Sami Jemfi, National Communications Officer of the NDC. Let me just say that since the issue of how much the government lost to the Japan deal became a subject of conversation at the Public Accounts Committee, we've been frantically trying to hear from the government on this. We've not been successful. When we do get a response from the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources or the Ministry of Finance, we'll share that with you. In the meantime, we're going to have the business segment on Eyewitness News. And then on Point Blank, we'll talk about the road sector. Please stay with us.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
Let your voice be heard on Eyewitness News on Facebook at facebook.com/City97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/City973, and Instagram at instagram.com/City973 with the hashtag Eyewitness News.
Get the details. Every significant financial transaction, every market movement, and all the policies that affect your business. City Business News. Be informed.
It's time for City Business News and Eyewitness News, brought to you by GCB Bank PLC. GCB Personal Loan. Make that big move and dream a reality. I am Akosia Oche. Let's settle for the details. New Finance Minister Mohamed Amin Adam has urged the Ghana Revenue Authority, GRA, to meet its targets for the 2024 fiscal year. He says the GRA should follow an advanced roadmap with a friendly approach that does not compromise its mandate. During the courtesy call on the commissioners at the GRA office in Accra, Dr. Mohamed Amin Adam reaffirmed his commitment to improve domestic revenue mobilization.
That we have been encouraged by the performance of GRA, particularly last year, 2023. You managed to exceed the revenue target for the year. Although the public seems to question the framework for the target setting that we use, I congratulate you on this achievement. However, let me emphasize that this achievement also reveals the depth of the potential to be optimized. The potential is so huge, and I know that many Ghanaians share this view. I expect that we work together through a structured framework to exceed your performance last year. 170 billion Ghana cedis target, which we have put in the 2024 budget. I believe you can do more than that because you have done it. You have demonstrated capability that you can do this. But quite sincerely, we all need to urgently agree to a roadmap. It appears some of the things we do are ad hoc. But if we have a roadmap that is clearly defined and we all understand our roles and what we all have to do to contribute to achieving the target for 2024, I believe we will do better. So we need urgently to agree on the roadmap to enable us to exceed the revenue target and meet the pressing needs of our country.
Well, the finance minister also called for collaborative efforts to ensure the country stays on the course with its IMF program.
Achieving and exceeding the target is also critical to the success of the IMF Extended Credit Facility program. We cannot afford to miss our commitments under the program, because the consequences will not be good for our country. So, Commissioner General, I take this opportunity to reiterate to you and your team the 3 key priorities that you have assured us that you will achieve under the program. Number 1 is cleaning of the GRA taxpayer register, which should be done by end June 2024. Number 2 is to complete data migration from all existing portals to the ITAS, or ITAS, as other people call it. And number 3, to operationalize the major modules: registration, returns filing, and payments in the system, and processes needed to be completed prior to that. All these need to be put in place by end December 2024. I expect that your team works assiduously to honor these obligations and on time.
You heard that the voice of the newly appointed Finance Minister, Dr. Mohammed Amin Adam. Now, the International Chamber of Commerce is impressing on the World Trade Organization, WTO, to back the continuation of the moratorium on custom duties on electronic transmission at the upcoming WTO's 13th Ministerial Conference in March 2024. The Chamber in a statement expressed concerns over potential historic setbacks if the WTO allows the moratorium to expire. It said that this was crucial for ongoing COVID-19 recovery efforts. Additionally, it is seen as vital for ensuring supply chain resilience for manufacturing and services industries, including manufacturers. Now, finally, in its quest to enhance its revenue generation capacity and become more competitive within the African sub-region, Casapreco PLC has raised 150 million cedis on the Ghana Stock Exchange, or this amount of which is the first tranche of the company's 600 million cedis bond program, has been 100% subscribed on the Ghana fixed income market. Here's the managing director of the Ghana Stock Exchange, Abena Amwa, highlighting the impact of this feat on the investing public.
What Casapreco has done today is that they have registered with the Ghana Stock Exchange to raise up to 600 million Ghana cedis in loans, 3-year loan facilities. Casapreco will take this 151 million Ghana cedis, invest in the business, hire more staff, produce more product, run the business well, and pay the interest that they've agreed with the investors back to them. The good news is that they actually raise the money at more affordable interest rates than what the market even says they should be charged for, which is one of the big advantages here, because the money is long-term, it's patient. When we contribute towards our pensions, we want the money when we go on retirement, right? So it's 20-year money, it's 30-year money. It can take more risk, but in well-run companies with the growth trajectory and with products that we can interact with. All of us can see how our money goes towards these products.
You heard that from Managing Director of the Ghana Stock Exchange, Abena Amwa. Let's hear from Managing Director of Casapreco PLC, Richard Ajay, who says the listing of the 600 million cedis bond on the Ghana Stock Exchange gives them the opportunity to diversify their funds.
We looked at this opportunity
to diversify our funding pool. We've been working with the traditional banks for over 15 years, and we felt the Ghana Stock Exchange is giving businesses the opportunity to come into the market, open up and get cheaper funding and more sustainable funding. That's the main reason why we came to the stock exchange. And for us, many Ghanaian companies wouldn't want to open up and be public, but we believe that being a public company is more sustainable, and in terms of growth, also supports growth better. Currently, the 150 million, we are using it to refinance our banking partners, and then part of the 600 million will be used for capital expansion. That will be to expand our water and to expand into the other sub-regions in Africa. So there'll be more factories coming up that we ourselves are setting up across the African continent over the next 3 years. So the 600 million is actually a 3 to 4 year program.
That was Richard Ajay. He's the managing director of Casapreco PLC. Ending tonight's edition of the City Business News and Eyewitness News. It was brought to you by GCB Bank PLC. GCB Personal Loan. Make that big move and dream a reality. I am Akusia Otre. Up next is Point Blank Tuesday.
Hello, Linda. You won't believe what I am planning next. I want to start my postgraduate degree, buy a car, and build my dream home. But you know what's stopping me?
What's that, Mike?
Money, oh. That be my biggest wahala.
Oh, you are sorted, Kra. With a GCB Big Move personal loan promo, you can borrow up to a whopping 400,000 Ghana cedis at a significantly reduced interest rate in less than 24 hours.
Like, seriously? How do I qualify?
Yes, it's available to all GCB salary account holders. Plus, you get a 2-month grace period before you start to pay back.
Susket, I'm opening an account with GCB now.
Get a personal loan of up to 400,000 Ghana cedis at a significantly reduced interest rate in less than 24 hours. Call 0800-422-422 or visit your nearest GCB branch today to fund your next big move as we celebrate 70 years of greatness. T's and C's apply. GCB Bank, your bank for life.
Let your voice be heard on Eyewitness News on Facebook at facebook.com/City97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/City973, and Instagram at instagram.com/City973 with the hashtag Eyewitness News.
City TV is live on DSTV, GoTV, and HD+. On DSTV, find us on channel 363. On GoTV, we're on channel 117, and on HD+, get us on channel 108. On a digital TV, run a new search, but take note that without an antenna, you cannot access City TV. City TV can be accessed on any free-to-air digital box like the GoTV and HD+ boxes. City TV, it's your world.
Do you care enough about your business? Then it's time to make a transition to renewable energy and energy efficiency solutions. Visit the AGI Energy Service Center and talk to us. AGI ESC cares about business growth. That is why we're here to assist industries cut production costs through energy savings. We provide you with solar feasibility studies, energy audits, energy efficiency trainings, and financial advisory services. Visit agiesc.com for more information or call us on 0507 977 902, an initiative of the Association of Ghana Industries in partnership with the German Development Corporation, implemented by GIZ.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
Tonight on Point Blank, we are focusing on the road sector. The government declared 2 years ago the year of roads, and then the year after also a year of roads. Last week, when the president reshuffled his government, he sent his minister for roads and highways home. He sent another minister to come and replace him, the works and housing minister, to become the roads minister. Already, the government has said it has done so much. There's a recent announcement that a contract has been given or an amount of 150 million cedis rather, has been released to patch potholes on roads in Ghana. I have seen some patching happening on the motorway. The MPP has also said that it has constructed more roads than any other government. Dr. Bawumia said that last week. They mentioned some 11,000 kilometers of road that they've constructed. So in studio tonight, a deputy minister for roads in the Mahama government is my guest. He is the MP for Wassa East. His name is Isaac J. Mensah. Honorable, you're welcome to Point Blank.
Thank you, man.
How are you doing?
By God's grace, good. In the south?
I'm well. How is the constituency?
Not doing bad. It's good.
And Parliament?
Parliament's very good. You know, I'm now the ranking for roads and transport.
Oh, congratulations.
So it's getting better.
Oh, that's nice. That's nice.
You know, when,
and you take over from Agboja?
Yeah, he was a chief whip. Okay. And I was deputy by then. Deputy.
He was deputy. Ranking. He was a ranking. You were his deputy. So now that he's become whip,
yes,
you take over as nice. That means that so more grilling. Do you guys have like some committee works that you do where you have to move around and inspect things like the health committee does?
We do. So
what's the recent thing you've done, or what is the new thing you're going to do?
We actually haven't done. We have something in the pipeline, and we did a lot in the previous year. So we have on the pipeline. We have to be visiting some projects which will have to be approved or be sanctioned before we do. And pretty soon, I think in first week in March, we will be doing the inspections.
And will you be doing this as a joint caucus or just
we
the
do
NDC
that.
side?
It's always joint.
Okay. Because I noticed that on the health committee, sometimes they go on their own. The NDC side will leave, MPP may not follow. Works and housing, they do that sometimes. They go to Saglemi and all of those things. But you have consensus to go together.
But we may be going solo this time around if we don't get support of the other party.
Okay, I see. Let's talk about the road sector. So the government has said it has done more. In fact, the vice president said they've done more road projects than anybody else in the past. And this is in terms of kilometers. Having listened to him, what's your reaction?
Thank you so very much, Maro. And give me the opportunity to, as usual, and as a ritual we always do, we want to, appreciate our cherished, listeners and those who have the opportunity to check on the Facebook and the TV. We also want to, thank them for doing that. We've always been drumming this home that it can never be true that Nana Akufo-Addo's government has constructed more roads than any other government. You remember when he came to Parliament, I think a year or so ago, and he said, open your eyes, shine your eyes, because I have constructed roads more than any other government. We came out, the NDC part came out and debunked it. We refused it. And they came with some explanation. And in fact, they came back to say that, yes, all those roads that they've constructed are yet to be validated because we pushed them to the wall and we needed evidence. So all they said was that, okay, we have engaged a consultant to go into it and we validate it. As I speak to you now, they've not been able to validate that. But we have the records. And the indisputable source, incontrovertible source is the budget statement. That one, you can't lie. And in the budget statement, we've had that chronological study as to what is the performance of road sector by the various regimes or governments, right from President Rawlings, President Kufuor, Late Mills, Mahama, and Nana Akufo-Addo. Indeed, it's Nana Akufo-Addo who has the lowest performance.
In roads?
In records. And we have all the paragraphs and pages and everything here.
So which document is that in front of you?
These are documents I've compiled from
budget statements?
Budget statements.
Since 92?
Since 92.
Okay.
And in fact, if you check the details, it's only President Rawlings that constructed, when you talk about road construction, the details are there, 18,965 kilometers.
18,965, General Rawlings.
Yes, constructed. Then you come to President Mills and Mahama together. We are talking about 2 terms. And so they did 15,000 kilometers.
Okay.
Now, followed by Kufuor, who did a little about 13,912 kilometers. So he's third. Nana Akufo-Addo in his second term, and it's about a few months to exit, he has performed 6,977 kilometers of roads. We are talking about roads that exist, that you can see, and that they have reported on. And he is the lowest. So we have issues about that. But where Bawumia is drawing his inspiration from is the report that they brought out to Parliament, and we challenged it. We said, give us evidence. And so the minister pushed the technocrats. You know, the technocrats are technocrats, they're professionals. And when they brought the result, what they said is that we are yet to validate it. And if the engineers tell you we are yet to validate it, know that it's not confirmed. As I speak to you now, it has not been validated. So what we take for truth is what we have in the budget statement. And that's what we're giving out. Indeed, all the records here, performance in urban roads, the performance in feeder roads, performance in highways, these are incontrovertible source and fact. And so it can never be true today and it cannot be true tomorrow. You see, you can't trust Bawumia because he has always been flip-flopping. You remember when he, prior to coming in, when Ghanaians gave it a nod, so we're not going to take any loans, we can just toll roads and we get money to toll our roads. Then he says, okay, we're going to concretize, to make concrete roads. They have not even a kilometer. And so, particularly in the road sector, it is a technical area and every fact must be checked and checked properly. So it is never true today and it's never true tomorrow. And that is the details that we've given. As we speak now, it is going into the history books that Nana Akufo-Addo is the only government, only president that has underperformed abysmally as far as road construction is
Even though there were 2 years of road.
You see, year road 2 years, year road 1, year road 2. And you ask,
and they've told us that they've done tremendous work.
Nothing to show. What are the evidence? What we know is that some of the roads that they target, the mega projects, they are now in standstill. And then it's happening because of this, the loan situation and the financial challenges and so on. But on record, it is clear that President Rawlings stands tall. And everybody can just go to check the budget statements. And I have all of them here. If you give them a few minutes, I can just tell the budget statement, this, paragraph that. They're all there. I've changed the document everywhere and in Parliament. And it can't be true. And Bawumia, you see, what they're saying is that if you grade road, if an earth road is graded, you are not constructing a road.
That's actually what I was going to ask. So when you say a road has been constructed, does it mean a new road that has been created where there was no road at all, or it means a road that has been upgraded?
So two issues are we call it rehabilitated. So there are occasions where new roads entirely, a new network will be created. And when you create that new network, you develop it and it is good. It stands in your favor. Where existing network is, we have already there, and you develop it, you rehabilitate it, you bring life into it, particularly if it is, earth road. So you grade it, you ram it. Yes, bitumenize it.
Okay.
It stands in your favor. Even if it is not even tarred, and you grade it, you put the gravels on it, and you do the drains and culvert and so on, it becomes road. And so that is what can get into your credit. But when an existing network, existing feeder road or earth road is there, gravel road, then you grade it, you have not constructed. Because when it rains...
But you've made it more trouble.
It is already more trouble, except that you are making it better.
So if it's better, it's for your record.
Because every year you have to grade it twice. So you grade it today, the next time you say I've graded again, I've considered road. The road is 50 kilometers earth road. Then you grade it. It's earth road, gravel road. You grade it. When the rain sets in, the road has gone bad again. And you go and grade it again. Have you constructed another road? No. So all we're saying is that when roads are rehabilitated and made bitumenized or put in a shape that has some permanency, then you can take the credit that you have constructed roads. What we have in here is that they included the gravel graded roads. That is graded twice or 3 times every year. And that is what they're saying. And so these roads do not feature in the data that we have in Parliament.
So the 6,000 roads you say that the President
6,977
Akufo-Addo government has done so far, it includes roads that have been bitumenized or
asphalted, upgraded, asphalted, rehabilitated,
or newly created.
Exactly. Basically, most of these projects are.
But let's talk about physical things. So even here in Accra, we are seeing that they are doing the motorway. They are doing some work on it. They have just gone to clear the road from Adenta towards Somanya. So they are fixing that. Can they count that? Again, we've seen asphalt roads around Adjringano, School Junction, and Akrom, those roads. You don't regard those roads? They are new roads.
We have 16 regions. And now certified validated road network is 70,402 kilometers. That is what is certified and validated. 78,402 kilometers. This is certified.
So that's the total network of road in Ghana.
In Ghana. And we have Ghana Highways Authority having a little over 14,000. Urban Roads has a little over 15,000. And feeder roads has 48,000 over. They carry over 2/3 of our network. Huge network. Then you go to Accra here, 15, 20 kilometers. No, it will stand in Accra. The road was already there. That network was already there. Except that they are putting better life, good life into it. We are not taking away.
But when you were in power, you came to asphalt roads in cantonment and called it cocoa roads. It's not.
No, but that is not true. See, the point is that this is propaganda. You go to urban centers and Tema. Tema. There is this cocoa warehouse in there and so on. When you carry the cocoa from Sehuri or so Chimbasa and so on, you bring them to Takoradi. You take to the road. So, for instance, if you take some part of cocoa money and just develop the stretch that leads to the harbor, it makes sense because if the road is not fixed, it cannot go there.
But cantonment doesn't go to the harbor.
That is not true. Nobody ever was able to validate, to certify that indeed that was true. They were part of the propaganda.
So all your cocoa road projects were in cocoa growing areas?
In the history of this country, the period that we have an enhanced and perfect super road, cocoa roads, were during the time of President Mahama. Why am I saying this? As we speak now, they made a lot of noise. And so we're going to get, auditors into it. For instance, you remember the forensic audit and so on. As we speak now, we've not had any document before us. That even shows that the 10 million Ghana cedis that they used to pay the consultant, you've seen it. As we speak now, cocoa roads have over 21 billion, Ghana cedis of debt. That is the mess that we can find ourselves.
Currently,
over 21 billion Ghana cedis debt. And as we speak now, the Ministry of Roads and Highways cannot even tell you how much is owed to contractors. And it's getting to the hundreds of billions. Because, there's this issue called payment on, interest on delayed payment. As soon as you pay the contractor, it triggers. And that alone, which is hidden, is huge. They reported that Road Fund, has a debt of 5.5 billion Ghana cedis. And highways has close to 3 billion and urban roads have several. So, national, that's what they say, close to 15 billion Ghana, which is even more. And that's what I want to go in there. All I'm saying is that what President and the Vice President Baumia said that they've constructed 11,675 kilometers is untrue. They have not validated it. They should bring the evidence to prove it. Until then, what you have on records, validated, certified, is a 6,955 kilometers.
So it's possible that they have done 11,000, but they're yet to
It has not. When they brought the initial results to Parliament, about 40% of that chunk is gravel graded roads. And the engineers will tell you, when you grade roads, you cannot count them to be a constructed road. And say, okay, we'll come with validation. You'll come and validate it. As we speak now, you don't have any records to that. But day in and day out, all these roads go bad. Again, now all the potholes that we see in the system, you need to go back and get it developed and improved. So the road that you said you've constructed, they have gone bad again.
But they have so it's good you mentioned the patching. They have released 150 million cities to deal with patching, and we are seeing some of the patching happening on the motorway.
Patching, the motorway has been awarded on contract.
The patching or the construction?
But you give everything and the patching has started.
Because now they are patching. So I'm just saying that. What do you think of that idea?
The road is on contract. We've just awarded the contract to Maripoma, okay, and Maripoma is doing the work. The best thing you can do is you wouldn't block all the stretch. You would have to do the pothole patching and spot improvement and so on. That's what he's doing. But that is not the issue at stake. The issue at stake is that motorway has been awarded on a contract. The contractor is working.
So let's take motorway out. Exactly. The 150 million for patching.
So do you want to believe that?
Yeah, why should I doubt it?
They have always not spoken it. It is not true. You see, what they are saying is that they've released, and there's another term called received. So what I want, in the budget details, we see that allocation, released, and received. So it means that it is gone to control accountant general. So I ask you, have they determined all those areas that we pothole patched? What they are saying is that, Omaro, you know that as I did tell you, over a third of our road network are feeder roads, the remaining feeder roads. This 150, which is not even enough, is to handle urban and highways alone, only the city roads. So what are we doing with the village road that we have manholes and we have those roads to be graded? So if anybody is listening to me from Achibasa, from Atobiase, they will know that the road from Akutiase to Atobiase is not covered by the money that is released. But in any case, the other question, Umaro, is that where is this money coming from? We have ring-fenced, dedicated source fund called road fund. That is what we use for maintenance of our roads. And this pothole patching is basically, a routine maintenance.
So pothole patching is a plan by the ministry, or is a regular thing by the Ministry of Roads?
It's a regular thing by the ministry. The network is there. So what is the basis of the distribution of the funds?
So this is where why would you decide to patch a road? What considerations go into that?
That's the point. The issue is that it's a routine thing. For pothole patching, it's very routine. In maintenance, we have two sections. You have periodic and routine. Periodic is the rehabilitation you're talking about. And the routine is the pothole patching, the grading, and the slashing of road and so on. That is basic. You see, this tells you, Maro.
But it's still significant. It means that there's an attention there on fixing potholes.
At the end of the year, you are raking close to 5 billion Ghana cedis from road fund alone. Then you release, you say first 150 million when you owe contractors to the tune of 5 billion. What are you talking about? And it is basically in the cities, but a chunk of our road network in the rural areas. So this government has to be serious, and it's just firefighting, fire brigade work. Because you remember in the latter part of last year, a lot of people, everybody was talking about road bad, and my road is bad, and so on. That tells you that the government is not performing, and so it's just a fire brigade, impulsive action. Let's do something. And in the history of this country, 150 million is devoted for pothole patching. The question is, how realistic will this be? Who is going to take charge? The contractors are not being paid, so they're not doing it. Are you going to give them the money for the debt they owe or a new one? Are you going to bring in new contractors? And this is our sham. I can show you. When in this history, in this country, that we brought in national security, national security, involved in pothole patching. And that tells you that the system has failed.
That's what they're doing?
Check in the details. They said that Spinters Road, the national security is getting themselves involved in pothole patching. So if pothole patching is not becoming an emergency, is not becoming a crisis situation, that tells you how this government is not performing as road is concerned.
The motorway patching, though, concrete road being patched with bitumen, there are people who think that it is wrong. When you were in government, what was your approach? Did you also do that?
But we did the appropriate pothole patching. We did it.
How you poured bitumen in concrete?
It was a mix of it. Because along that line, we were getting into the phase of contracting it. And just the same exactly what we've done. So now the contractor is in Maripoma, the contractor who is on it now. But first of all, they have to, the contractor will have to allow motorability. And so, that's why they're doing pothole patching. You see that they're clearing the earth here and here and so on. So that is what he's doing. But basically, something is happening. What is happening to other regions? That is what you have to ask. The 150 million is inadequate. It is insufficient. And for me, I don't think it's true. So the ministry will have to come in. When did we get the media men in the ministry coming out to do politics with this? It cannot be true. In any case, where are we getting this route? Which region? How many of the regions are going to get benefit from this? And so on. So that cannot be true.
Dr. Bawumia, when he gave his vision statement to Ghanaians, mentioned that henceforth, or in his government, the road sector will be funded by private sector. You've heard that. What's your comment?
The issue is that is PPP. They should tell me one single road that has been on PPP. It has never happened.
But he said he will make it happen.
Sorry?
He said he will make it happen.
It's procrastinating. Can you trust this man? This man who told you he was going to concrete all roads, and he has not done a kilometer. Who has advised? He has been advising the government.
But he's going to float it to private sector people. If you want to construct a road, come and construct it, and then you pay for it. And
the road sector, you want to talk to the professional. The road sector is a very technical area. You just don't say anything anyhow. Before you get into action, you must give the details, the research work and the service appropriately. And that is where President Mahama stands tall. Because everything he did was calculated, was perfect, and was super. And that is why when he left office, the health of our road was about 74% motorability.
So for you, private sector-led road construction is not workable?
You can always involve the private people. The issue is that you must get the systems right. When people begin to talk, where has he performed? Where has Bawumia performed in his private sector stuff? Everywhere that you talk the private sector, he's failed, but not in road sector. Road sector is so critical. You know, an efficient road transport system is the precondition for economic development in any country. And therefore, if you mess up with it, that is why you have issues. If you mess up with this, that's a problem. So you don't want to trust Bawumia. You don't want to trust him because he told her, "Are you not here, Umaru?" When he said that he was going to make all roads, you are not going to take loans, you are going to tow roads. Then he came in and abolished the toll booths. He said, "I'm going to construct concrete roads," and he has not done a kilometer, and so on. So all I'm saying is that it's just rhetoric. But you want to be very serious. You want to get into the records, and that is why you think that what is the record between President Mahama, because he's going to fix it. President Mahama and Akufo-Addo now. And so President Mahama, within the 4 years that he unprecedentedly performed over 8,118 kilometers. You get the asphalt, you get the spot improvement. Everything was perfect. As at the time that he left our road system, we have this road condition maze, good, fair, and poor. As at the time he was leaving the road, the 78,402 kilometers, 41% of our roads were good, and 33% of our road was fair. So in actual fact, 74% of our road were more trouble. It was only 26% that was poor.
Just when Mahama left.
Yes. And now...
But how did the roads just all of a sudden, if he had left good roads, what happened?
They never maintain it. We've always been saying that, look, guy, don't rush. There is red fence money, which is called road fund. Use this money to do the pothole patching and all those stuff, and it will be fine. Look, if you don't maintain our road, that's going to be the problem. But they concern themselves with building bridges and overheads and so on, only in the city. Now our roads are bad. We are virtually losing the network. But you see, if you lose the network, it's expensive. The network, roads is capital intensive, and that is for me. That is my worry.
What is your view on toll booths? They've been scrapped. Should they be brought back?
Why not? People are calling for responsibility, because everywhere in the world we toll roads. There's this technology, the e-tolling and all those, and that is why we said, Bawumia, don't get it, because if you know there's e-tolling there, why would you advise the government to abolish toll booths?
Maybe he did not advise the government.
He did. No, but he talks about, don't you know that he advised President Akufo-Addo? He's the brain behind everything. He's the brain behind the abolition. He's the brain behind promising the people we are going to toll roads and we are going for loan. He's the brain behind the fact that we are going to do concrete roads. Are you not aware of that?
He was a mate.
Sorry?
He was the mate.
He can never be a mate. He was a spare driver. And he said, spare driver, could you allow your car to be given to a mate? An incompetent and inefficient mate.
After 7 years.
You can only give your car to a spare driver. So he may have transitioned from a mate to a spare driver. And that is why now the president, not in the country, he has been given the steer to ride. And he's getting us into ditch. There is nothing that you can trust Bawumia with. And so all those things that we're talking about, they are in rhetorics, and you don't want to trust it. That is why I'm not trusting this 150 million. It's inadequate, it's insufficient, and they must come again. There's so much money in road fund that is made for maintenance. And so use that money. Can you imagine close to 5 billion cedis a year? Then you are just devoting 150 million. And that is why, you see, it shows Ghanaians that the system has failed. Yeah, you need to go. But the point is that the system has failed. President Mahama will come and fix it. And that is why we said, don't listen to this guy. The best person to come and fix the road, like in the past. You remember in the past, we wake up and you see that asphalt overlay, those people in the cities and everywhere. He's going to fix it. Don't trust Bawumia. He's going to mess us up. And he's still messing us up.
Honorable Isaac Ejay Mensah, former Deputy Minister, Roads and Highways, MP Wasa East, and ranking member on the Roads Committee of Parliament. Thank you for joining us on Point Blank.
Most grateful.
My name is Umaru Sanda Amadu. I did this with Akosia Ochi. Production by Kobna Wilson and Beverly London. Technical support from Daniel Squashi. We'll return tomorrow at 17:30 GMT. Thank you for listening, and have a good night.